are live. We are live. It is alive. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Mastermind Wisdom Table Talk Live at 5. You're here with Crystal Oris Jackson, Lisa Jenkins, and Larry Richardson.
And hello, everyone.
And I'm going to have them introduce themselves. We have some folks that have joined us. Bert, Nicole, Rush. Hi guys, how you all doing?
Hello,
welcome.
how you doing?
Hello.
And if you guys cannot hear us, please let us know. And I'm going to type that.
You've had that experience before.
You cannot hear us. Let us know.
Please.
Oh, we live. We definitely live. We are live. Oh, well, that makes sense.
What'd they say?
Hey, we're having a good time getting started today.
Fun.
Fun. Everybody
If
had a
you're
good
having
week.
fun, enjoy it in the journey, you're doing something wrong.
Yes, you are.
Okay, let's start over. Hello,
Hello.
everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Mastermind Wisdom Table Talk Live at 5. You're with Crystal Oris Jackson, Mastermind Wisdom Coach. Lisa Jenkins, she's now a mastermind. Larry Richardson, who is also a mastermind.
Welcome.
Welcome to our show where we will talk about some upcoming activities that we have, some events that we have planned.
Absolutely.
And in particular, we're going to be talking about our 30-day challenge.
Correct.
Yes.
And we're going to explain that to you a little bit more in detail. We're going to go over some things that we're going to be doing during that 30-day challenge. And I'd like to have you guys let us know some of the things that you might be dealing with or going through that this challenge will help you with. So, without further ado, I am going to ask my co-hosts here to introduce themselves, tell you a little bit about themselves, how you can get in contact with them, and then we will jump right in and whip it right out.
All right.
Lisa?
Great. Good evening, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful week because I have. Haven't you had a wonderful week? A great day, great week, and a great year so far. My name is Lisa Jenkins. I'm with Why Not Legacy Group and the Mastermind Wisdom University. And what I do, or we do as a team, is legacy planning, insurance, and DNA screening. I had to say because we do multiple things, right?
So many.
Okay, so many things. But now that we see that there's problems with legacy planning, there's problems with people not having the right type of insurance, that's what we do. My number is 832-441-9317. 832-441-9317. Thank you.
Great. Good evening, everyone. My name is Larry Richardson. I'm a 25-year plus financial advisor, senior market specialist. Also now I'm a Wisdom University coach,
Yeah,
mastermind
absolutely,
coach.
absolutely.
Okay, and past president of the Insurance and Financial Services of San Jacinto chapter. Also mentee and mentor for the young adults. Past board member of the NAACP. My number is area code 832-867-5038. That's area code 832-867-5038. And looking forward to our 30-day challenge, which is be turned back over to Chris Jackson.
Thank you. Let me say hello to some folks that have just joined us. Jimmy Taylor just joined. Akili Graham, Dr. Akili Graham. And welcome to the show.
Hello.
You have tuned in to the Mastermind Wisdom Table Talk radio show, where this is live at 5. We're actually going live here, and we're also broadcasting on gospelradionation.com. So it's a wonderful time for us to be here and talking about
Absolutely.
changes that we are taking that need to be addressed some of the things that we've gone through in life. And we're starting a new year. Even though it's February, we're a month in, we're at Black History Month that's about to end, but our lives at this point have not ended.
Correct.
But we do choose to deal with some craziness in our lives that if we had some better planning, if we focused in on it a little bit more, then we would find ways to negate, slow down, even change our lives.
Absolutely.
So that we would be living life to the fullest. Isaac Brazil, church member, how you doing? Akili is also a church member. He comes when he wants to, so that means he's gonna come more often now because I just put your business in the street.
Put it on blast. Wow.
Change your thinking.
Change your thinking. Change your behavior. Change your life.
Right. Absolutely.
So again, with the Mastermind Wisdom 30-day challenge, we are also going to be going along with some of the other programs that at your church, and now Lisa has joined the 30-day challenge. But at my church, Hope Church Pearland, we are going through a 180-day wellness program. It's our wellness too. But that simply means that we are getting well from finances, from offenses, from anxieties, from those kind of things that we deal with every day, but we don't really deal with every day.
Yeah, yeah.
So our 30-day challenge is based on the book Think and Grow Rich. It kicks off on March the 2nd, 9 a.m., and it will go through April 6th at 9 a.m. So you can reach me at 832-969-5363 or at my website, which is www.mastermindcoach.org, and you can text me or email me at mastermindcoach@gmail.com, mastermindwisdomcoach@gmail.com. So we're going to jump right into some of the things that we will be talking about during that 30-day challenge. But I also want to emphasize that our 30-day challenge is based on the book Think and Grow Rich. The title of our Mastermind 30-day challenge is Think and Grow Wisdom.
That's correct.
Because in order for you, if you've read this book, then you had to do some thinking. You had to do some behavioral changes, which at some point changed your life.
Absolutely.
For those that have delved into it and really dealt with some of the things that were said there, I don't believe, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, that you used that process, the Think and Grow Rich, the things that were in that book, to make your lives better.
Absolutely.
And I believe a lot of books that we have, we don't revisit them enough. We don't follow through enough. And in doing this 30-day challenge, I believe that if we pick out at least 10 things that we need to change over the next 30 days, that we can accomplish, we can go from good to better. You may get to good to great, but the idea is to go from good to better. So that's what we're using that for. And we're going to explain a little table that you can use that I will send to you if you choose to email me. If you don't want to blast your information over the area here, that's fine. But you can send me an email or send me a text message, and I will see that you get a copy of the material that we're using. And I certainly want you to pick up on the book, or you may be able to go online and download. You actually can download that book being commentated live on YouTube.
Right.
And we are going to use YouTube. I will be doing some podcasting doing the 30-day challenge, so I'll be sending out something every day, and I'll be probably live every morning.
Good.
Around 5:30, 6 o'clock for about 10-15 minutes talking about some of the things on the 30-day challenge. Miss Tiffany Hicks just joined. My nephew, my godson. Well, you can be my nephew if you want. But my godson, Derek Bennett, who is in San Antonio, is joining us. So, hello, son. And Miss Tiffany Hicks is also a mastermind coach. I believe she's on her way. She'll be joining us. It's always fun when she shows up because she out talks all of us. But
in a good way. In a good way. Thank you. Hello, Tiffany.
Yeah. So let's get started a little bit. Did you want to start with something in particular, Larry?
Not particular, but I know you had mentioned what your church is doing, and of course the Think and Grow Rich, which we're going to be basing our 30-day challenge off, which will be Think and Grow Wisdom.
Right.
I mentioned to you before there's classes and training and self-development courses out there all over the country, but I find none any better than what the cost effectiveness that you're charging, for this particular program, as well as what you're going to get out of it and the growth that you're going to get from it. At my church, we've been studying. I always like reading books. This was called The Blessed Life by Robert Morrison, senior pastor of Gateway Church. And basically, the thing that I like about this is about giving.
Mm-hmm.
And the giving is the first and foremost, and I just recap because I'm at a Mount Corinth Missionary Baptist Church with Alois, the Patterson, which is our Alan Patterson. The son is the pastor of it now. Is taking the church through a growth process, and just giving you an idea of content is that we obviously put God first, which is in giving, life and not law, because we don't live necessarily by the law. It's life now. The principle of multiplication, breaking the spirit of mammon. It takes a heart transplant, and just doing the right thing, are just some of the actual nuggets that comes out of a book like this. And when we're reading these books, it's only to get our mind, heart, and spirit aligned to be a more effective and a prosperous individual. So I want to mention that and just let you know that I'm excited to be here today.
I will be going over some different books, suggesting these different books during some 30 days as well. Not just the Think and Grow Rich, but I'll have a list of other books that we'll be using that can help folks grow. Did you have a opening statement that you want to make to everybody as a mastermind wisdom coach now?
I just say that I am blessed to be between two men who are giving back to the community by teaching us how to change our way of thinking. It has helped me over the last 30 days to understand, to grow, and do better in the way I think. So I'm challenging everyone to read that book, Think and Grow Rich, to come and be involved in the 30-day challenge. Because what does it say? It takes 30 days to change your thinking, change anything. If you do the same thing, repetitions for 30 days, you change.
Absolutely. Most folks have heard that it takes 21, but I believe at 21 we give up. We said, well, I've got it. So we start doing what we used to do or nothing at all.
Exactly.
So if we go that extra time period, then it becomes a deeper habit for us. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about some of the things that you can start doing right now to help yourself. Over the last couple of weeks, we delved into some of those 30 things a little bit, but we're going to talk a little bit about them here as well. And I do want comments from you folks that are online with us, live with us. Sheila Harris, church member. Hi, Sheila. Amos McGinnis just joined. Welcome, Amos. So let's delve into some of the 30 things that you can start doing right now. We're going to start at our number 7 because in the past, let's read the first 6 and then we will talk about starting number 7. Number 1 is start spending time with the right people. And from you guys' perspective, who would be the right people?
People like ourselves and the people that we associate ourselves with, which are the positive thinking people.
Yes. Get away from negative-minded people, people that have Stinky thinking.
Say it again.
Stinky thinking.
Oh, I love
Whether
stinky.
it's your family members, and we don't want to, or your best friend, or co-workers. If they're talking negative, you kind of need to move, because tell them you're changing your life, you're changing your thinking, and you're doing better for 2019 going forward. I see a couple of people had a couple of comments.
Well,
What is the guy at the top, 30-day challenge?
Achilles says 30-day challenge sounds like a great program. I'll be visiting my church, my bro, which is good to see you. I'll be waiting for you.
We want you to give comments. Help us out, because there may be things that you want to know more about. We have lots of information between the three of us,
Definitely can expound
and we have, that you can expound on.
on. Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Number 2 on our list says start facing your problems head on. Now, what does that mean to you? Actually, in my opinion, it means to stop lying to yourself. You know, the greatest thing, there's a book, Norman Vincent Peale wrote the book, I can't remember the name of it, I remember the author, but in his first paragraph, he said, life is tough.
Mm-hmm.
And once we can accept the reality that the situation that we're in may be a tough situation, if we can accept that fact, then we can choose to move on.
Right.
Because all too often we transfer reality
True.
to I'll do it tomorrow, or did this really happen,
Right.
or I'll handle it tomorrow,
Right.
or something that happened yesterday is holding me down today.
Right. The key word to that is called procrastination. Now, and I perceive a lot of that when it says facing your problems head on. Some people tend not to like conflict.
Mm-hmm.
But conflict and resolution can be a positive thing.
Ooh, but what I heard you say was when you are hurt by something,
Absolutely.
you can learn something from it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very important. And facing things head on tends to, when the resolution comes, you feel better about it.
Mm-hmm.
And you get that energy back from it, and you realize we make monsters out of things that's really not monsters. It's not going to bite us, not going to kill us.
Well, not moving might. Because if you're faced with a cobra,
right,
and that cobra may be your finances when you need to make some changes.
Right.
Facing that problem head on, the problem could be, I have more month left than I have money available to get to the end of the month.
Right.
That's facing a problem head on.
Correct.
And being honest with yourself, which is our number 3, to choose to be honest with ourselves. That honesty might mean I either need some help, I need some advice, I need I need a partner that will tell me the truth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I need to make some changes, maybe stop spending, start counting my money. I know folks hate the word budget, but you may need a spending plan. So if you don't want to call it a budget, call it a spending plan, because if you're spending more than you bring in,
right,
that's a problem.
That's a problem. And that's something that you can start doing right away, right now. Let's see, number 4. Let's see, start making your own happiness a priority. Start making your own happiness a priority. Why do you feel that this would be something that we could work on right now? And what should we do to make ourselves happy, make that a priority? I'm glad you asked me that.
You're gonna answer that one, right? Well, your needs matter. That's first and foremost. You have to take it in oneself and understanding that you matter. Your needs matter. So when you start making yourself your own happiness a priority, you recognize what is a priority in your life.
Mm-hmm. And by saying that, stop making your priority, putting that priority on someone else to choose to make you happy.
True.
And we do that a lot. We feel, because we are people pleasers, a lot of us, we think that if we make someone else happy, then they'll make us happy.
Mhm. And you know, my biggest thing about happiness, one of my teachings is happiness is based on happenings.
Correct.
Right.
And as long as you're on that journey to get to that happy place, that's a good time.
Mhm.
But what happens is when we have that, like vacation as an example, excuse me, you know, part of the fun to go to a vacation
Right.
is the travel to get there.
Right.
Mhm.
We get there, we have a good time, we're happy about it. Then we have to turn around and go back to reality. So now we're not
Not
happy.
happy. That's not a happy place. Yeah, we want to
So now we got to plan our next happy spot.
Right.
But if happiness is a priority to you, then change the definition to joy, being grateful, being thankful for where you are
Correct.
already, because it may be, and you need to choose. Don't spend the car note money to go on vacation.
No.
Don't spend your alimony money
To go
go on
on
vacation.
That happiness is extremely temporary.
Yeah, you will not have any happiness if you spend dedicated money. And that's a good point to make about happiness, to dedicate certain things that will bring you joy. You will find that happiness comes out of joy.
True.
And I feel that sometimes when you don't feel happy or you feel a little bit sad, then just start saying things that you're grateful for. Because sometimes you can see the cloud over you and you don't think it's a happy day, but then when you start being thankful and grateful, then that builds up your happiness. That starts making you feel better.
That's
You said cloud over you. Do you believe some folks can see your ugly cloud?
No. I mean, I believe.
That
I used to.
you used to have a cloud about you. But I believe that when you're in a sour, bad mood, people can see that. It exudes from you.
That's true.
It's almost like when people tell you that certain animals, dogs or wild beasts, can feel,
right.
sense
Yeah.
fear in you.
Right.
And when we have that sense of fear in us, normally it's to flee, to back up, to stay away.
Right.
But fear can also be a motivator, which
Absolutely.
means if it's a way of pushing survival to do better.
Correct.
Because if you're continually having fear, which means you continually have an anxiety, which means you continually have a depression, which means those are signs that I need to change something.
Correct. Got a good comment on Mark.
Okay, Mr. Gaines says, great information and advice. It says, thanks for creating this platform and sharing these guidelines and tips for life, for living and better happiness, for a happy life. Thank you, Roderick. Keith has joined us, Terrence has joined us. I believe I've mentioned Mike already, I've mentioned Amos already. Welcome. Let's continue with number 5.
Number 5, start being yourself genuinely and proudly. Wow. Because sometimes we don't know how to be ourselves. We want to be the way you expect me to be. When you learn how to be yourself, like trying to be anyone else is a waste of the person you are. And I'm sure that everyone goes in life trying to be someone else. Now, at this time, sometimes you look at a movie star, a singer, and you want to be like them. But then you have to step back and think, let me be me first. If you're you, then that brings happiness. That brings all the things that we said above. So, be yourself. Embrace the individual inside of you. And that's what we're teaching. We're going to teach you how to come back Embrace yourself and feel good about being you. That's part of the mastermind, because change your thinking changes your life.
Absolutely. When you said that, I was thinking about when you said celebrities and images and other people's sayings that we will put on a t-shirt and wear.
Mm-hmm.
Why we don't have a picture of ourselves on our t-shirt?
Good question.
I'm
Very
gonna
good
put a
question.
picture of
Yeah,
me
you
on my
see-
t-shirt.
Yeah, right. Well, those are people that have the confidence in themselves and who they are, and more importantly, whose they are.
Mhm.
Because we're not, as an individual here on earth, once we recognize by what authority we have ourselves and who we are, that we're individually and aesthetically perfectly made, then you bring something to the table.
Mhm.
So once that pride and that information comes in establishing you, that no one else out there is like you,
Mhm.
you bring something to the table that no one else can ever do. Then you have that pride in yourself, and you would wear a picture
Mhm.
on your t-shirt. If not, at least you have it in your mental mind that I am a person of pride, and I take pride in what I do and how I respond and what I bring to the table.
What you said, I heard you say,
Yes,
that
sir.
we are wonderfully and perfectly made, which means that you are a child of God.
Correct.
And God doesn't make mistakes.
He does not.
I mean, if you don't have any hair like me, it's not a mistake.
And everyone has a purpose.
Everyone has a purpose. If you're not 6 foot tall, if you can't run, you can't play football,
Right. Or
That's
basketball.
Basketball.
Or whatever.
Or sing.
sing, you still have a gift. And if you're not using that gift that God gave you,
Right.
then you're wasting God's valuable talents about you.
Well, that's back to what we just said. Start noticing, start being genuinely. It's learning and discovering your gifts, which then bring that pride and that self fulfillment into it. Because God gave everybody a gift.
And one of those gifts, and I'm going to tag Mary Figures, who's a great friend of mine, and we're in an organization together called Black CEOs, which as it develops, I'll talk more about that. But she says, self-care. We have to do some self-care.
Correct.
And
Absolutely.
that goes along with your priority, make yourself happy, being yourself, being genuine, being proud about who you are. That may take some work for some folks that have habitually had people talk them down or say bad things about them, or having those core feelings of rejection.
Correct.
Being hurt by family members, persons that were sick at the time they perpetrated whatever they did to us.
Correct.
At that time. And again, it could be neglect, it can be abuse, it can be a number of things. But remember that the people that did what they did at that time, they were sick. They had legions of demons in them, because more than likely that demon that they had in them came from somebody else.
Correct.
So it was transferred, and that transfers to us.
True.
So now we can't feel good about ourselves.
True.
We can't have some good self-care because we are so damaged. We beat ourselves up so badly that all we can do is choose to beat somebody else up.
Right. And listening to what other people say about you, as you said before, that's damaged goods and things of that nature. My pastor said a long time ago, hurt people only hurt other people.
Yes.
Only hurt people that hurt other people. So when people come against you, they're hurting themselves. They're needing their own self-identity. And in that process, we grow from that. So we have to be positive on all occasions and have that self-care so that we can be positive to others.
Would you call that, which is our number 6, living in the present?
Absolutely.
So some self-care is choosing to live in the present.
And not the
Mary.
past
and not allowing the past,
to affect
Affect
our
present.
present
and our present
and
and our
future.
future.
And our
Absolutely.
future.
and our future.
Okay, that was number 6, by the way.
Thank you for your assistance. We appreciate that.
So y'all need to be
Chiming
taking
in.
notes.
Chiming in. We need these comments.
Yes, we
Let me know
do.
you're listening to us.
Mhm.
And by the way,
Just a
with
second.
with this 30-day things that you can start doing right now, if you let me know if you want a copy of this, you can send me an email or a text. You don't have to put your information out on Facebook, but you can send me a text at 832-969-5363. You can send me a email at mastermindwisdomcoach.gmail. Gmail, at Gmail, not dot. mastermindwisdomcoach@gmail.com. So, now, let's look at number 7. Start valuing the lessons your mistakes teach you.
Wow, that's a good one.
Do you guys, when was the last time that you chose to believe that one of your mistakes taught you a lesson?
Every time I make a mistake,
It teaches us a
teaches us a
lesson. Yes, it
lesson.
does. Yes, it does.
It teaches us either what to do or what not to do. And most of the time, what not to do or repeat at all times. Mistake. But you got to understand this though. Mistakes are okay.
Yes, they are.
Mistakes, I want to repeat that one more time to
Repeat
our
it
audience.
again.
Mistakes are okay. There's a lot of things. First of all, it means you're still growing, first and foremost. And then the things you can learn from a mistake are right.
Oh, you can look at the toddler, the little toddler, that's an example right there. He keeps falling and falling. He keeps making a mistake on trying to walk, and then one day he gets up and moves. So if you keep on trying and trying to do something, you'll be able to do it. It's like the swimmer learning how to swim. When he was scared. He went through fear. Then now, when he kept trying, what did he do? He could swim like a fish.
Right.
Even though I can't.
Just keep trying.
Well,
Just keep trying. There you go.
Your mistake would be drowning. Start being more polite to yourself. Oh, wow. Does that mean that we choose to beat ourselves up?
Yes, we do.
90% of the time.
90% of the time.
Right.
We are our worst critic.
We are our worst critic, and then are we our worst enforcer of punishment?
Yes, we are.
Okay. I believe that. Start enjoying the things you already have. Oh, now that's hard to do. Start enjoying the things you already have.
That sounds a little bit like gratitude.
It does.
Just a little bit.
It sounds a lot like
Gratitude.
wisdom.
Wisdom and being
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 grateful.
Grateful for what we have.
I'm gonna tell this old story. Y'all know the story. The guy that was fussing about not having any shoes until he met the man that didn't have any shoes. Now,
Still he met the man that didn't have any.
feet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, because
both of them without shoes.
I was so happy. I was so excited to tell that story. Sometimes you get ahead of yourself.
Gotta have fun.
Mary says mistakes are lessons.
Absolutely.
And the story about the inventor of the light bulb, Thomas Edison, who had an experiment about making the light bulb over 10,000 times. And he was asked, you failed all these times, but why don't you just quit? Why didn't you quit? He said, those weren't failures. Those were lessons.
Absolutely.
I knew not to do that thing again.
Again, right.
That was good
Stepping
lesson.
stone.
Stepping stone.
And if he had not done that, if Henry Ford had not done that, if Napoleon Hill had not talked about and followed through on the things that he had done, then we wouldn't be here today talking about using his stuff for mastermind wisdom thinking.
Exactly.
Because you can grow, your thinking can grow. It can grow into wisdom. And choosing not to do some of the things that we're talking about here, making changes, changing in your thinking, changing in your behavior, will definitely change your life.
Correct.
What's our next one? Did we sufficiently kick that around?
We got that one well explored.
Well, it
We're on
is
number
number
10.
9. We are on number 10.
10.
Okay.
Back to
But I think it's so important that we start enjoying the things that you already have.
Being grateful.
Being grateful. The person that may not have a car to get to work, but does have the advantage of the bus, living on the bus system. Maybe having a car and it's not your best car, but it beats walking. Not having the best house, but it beats living under the bridge.
Yeah. Right.
Well, we talk about it all the time, having an attitude of gratitude.
Mhm.
And one of the biggest things you can do for yourself every morning you wake up, obviously, is thank you, God, for being to wake up.
Mhm.
And then through that, then just reevaluate your situation, the things that you do have, and watch the gratitude and the attitude of gratitude come over you and give you that happiness that we're looking for, that we're searching for.
So we touched on number 10, which starts creating your own happiness. We talked about happiness a little bit and some things to do about it. So let's move from start creating your own happiness to start giving your ideas and dreams a chance, which is what you just said. Because we do have lots of ideas. We do have lots of dreams. The way you give them a chance is you make plans to do something different. It's no different than our 30-day wisdom challenge.
Correct.
Is you've got to start giving your ideas of how to dig yourself, pull yourself out of a hole so that you can experience some successes and definitely some letdowns. I don't use the word failure. I use the word expensive education.
Expensive lessons.
Those are expensive lessons. And that is an education to you, but you can't, in my opinion, and for the folks out there, you know this, you can't see yourself as succeeding in class until you get a grade.
Right.
And a failing grade means that I need to prepare a little better.
Correct.
Or I might need to make some changes in my life, which we're going to talk about when we talk about our life wheel.
Right.
So, start giving your ideas and dreams a chance. We all need to give ourselves a chance. We need to give ourselves a chance even to be happy. Happiness is based on happenings.
Correct.
But if the thing that keeps happening in us is that we keep going back to things that were done to us, we don't give ourselves a chance. We don't give ourselves a chance to dream, to live those dreams. Because if the only thing that we can dream about is what somebody did to us, what somebody said,
Mm-hmm.
what somebody thought of us,
Mm-hmm.
how we chose to take what they said, did, and thought of us as a part of us, give it value, then it becomes us.
Right.
Then you're not giving yourself a chance.
That's true.
You're actually defeating who you are.
Who you are. Well, I like it when it says in here, it says start giving yourself your ideas and dreams a chance. Listen to this. You'll never be 100% sure it will work, but you can always be 100% sure doing nothing won't work.
Absolutely. Mary Figures says, appreciate what you have, and God will bless you with more.
The blessed life, Mary. You're
Oh,
right on
good,
time.
Mary.
Right on it. Thank you.
Mary is actually in real estate, and I'm going to have her as a guest real soon.
Great.
Oh, great.
Love it.
Well,
Welcome aboard.
welcome aboard, Mary. And I always wear this. It said, dreams build success. Luke 1:37.
Luke 1:37. Okay. That's in the Bible, y'all.
In the Bible. Hopefully, most people know what it is in the Bible.
He's just making sure they're clear on that.
Yeah, I want to make sure.
Did I hear you say?
I
Yeah,
heard
you
you
heard me say,
yeah.
Luke. 1 and 37, dreams build success. Write it down, make it plain.
That's great.
And that's what our 30-day challenge will also help you do, is make some of your dreams and your challenges real. Help you to make those critical changes that you need to make in your life so that you can live a blessed life. Where are we? Number 13? Or were we on 12?
12. Start
Okay.
believing that you're ready for the next step. You are ready. Everyone is ready. You're ready.
I'm
ready.
Yes.
You've changed over the year, and then think about it. And that's what let me see that Think and Grow Rich, because I read it before. Always talking about the basics, but over the first chapter is the desire. Where is it? Oh, first have a desire. Thoughts are things. First you have to
Yes.
think about it.
Yes.
We just went over it. So all of this come together. And this, when did he start this? In the 1900s?
But he did
wrote
now,
it.
so it's a long time.
Yeah, well, I'm saying he wrote the book, but then you can listen, you realize that the same thing happens all the time. That you have to think the same way.
The only thing that's, in my opinion, that's new for us is how we choose to think about things, old, present, and future. Because they become newer, we add value to those things when we make our own adjustments and changes to them, especially when we're thinking about what we believe and what we think that people have done to us, that we are still a victim.
Correct.
Still a victim. Not a victim, but you still are a victim when you choose to be a victim.
That's true. That's so
So,
true.
Have we sufficiently kicked that one around?
Yes. Did she say something else, Mary?
No,
Okay.
we're still on being blessed. Thanks, Mary. We're at number 13.
Start entering new relationships for the right reason.
Okay, start entering new relationships
For the right
reasons.
Correct.
Now, unfortunately for most people, when we think we're going to enter a new relationship, that means finding me a new beau, a new young lady, or a new young man. How about finding a new reason, a new organization that you can give? Join a ministry at your church. Create some new relationships. One of the things that I talk about at my church, because I'm over several ministries and I'm always recruiting. And I'm recruiting people and I'm telling them the reason you need to be in ministry is if something should happen in your family. You can't make it to church, or you're sick and nobody sends you a card, nobody gives you a call, nobody comes by to check on you. Why? They don't know who you are. If you are in ministry, then you're connected. The church is about connection, the right connections.
Correct.
For the right reasons. Now, I often tell folks too, it's unfortunate, but it is true. If you want to be offended, go to church. But the church is a hospital, and we are there to get well. So you find the right doctor. You carry him through the door in your Bible. You have the right doctor. And remember, with the right doctor, that you have in your possession that you're going into a place where other people are ill as well. All of us got some craziness wrong with us. All of us have some legions in us, some demons in us that we are fighting every day. And I don't mean really mean stuff. I mean maybe food addicts, sugar. I like coffee. I don't like it black. I like it with lots of sugar. that's not the healthiest thing for
No,
me.
no.
And in many ways, if I'm going to start using some of these things on our wheel to get healthy,
You may have to utilize that as
one of those things I'm going to have to change.
Right.
I'm going to have to learn like some types of sweeteners that are non-toxic to my body. Okay. Let's see. Start reading 15.
Okay, start competing against an earlier version of yourself.
Ooh.
Wow, that's a little bit. Start competing with who you used to be.
Well, every now and then I put some pictures on Facebook of when I used to play football.
That's your younger version.
That is a younger version of
Yeah.
myself. But if you ever see those pictures on my Facebook page, notice how thin I am compared to now. So all I need to compete with is to try and be as healthy
Right.
as I was
Right.
then.
Right.
I'm never going to have the hair that I had then.
Yeah. Well, there's a if those are in social media, there's a Facebook challenge. It's called the 10-year Facebook challenge. They put a picture 10 years ago to present, and you see the big changes in a lot of people, and you see a lot of improvement. But those are things that people are comparing themselves with. But it's done in fun on that Facebook there. But you don't want to take that too serious.
No, you don't.
You don't really want to take that, oh my God, If anything, you use it for improvement, but you don't take it in a negative sense.
I would think, and correct me if I'm wrong, that if I'm going to compare myself and compete with a younger version of myself, I would look for those positive things that I used to do then. Not allowing anything to stop me.
Right.
Not have the challenges that I face beat me down. Choosing to find reasons and ways to serve people. And when you choose to serve people, it will help you get past some of the demons that you had.
Correct.
Because there's healing in serving. There's healing in helping other people. You have to do that in moderation. I've had to teach one of my grandsons how to choose. When he was younger, he would choose to use the Bible as ways of him feeling or thinking or to justify blessing other folks. You see, his mother gave him $1,000 when he went off to college, and he used that $1,000 to help his friend, and wanted another $1,000. And we had to explain to him that's not what that was for. But you know what he said? Well, the Bible says you're supposed to help people. The Bible also says you're not supposed to be a fool. I'm just saying. Yeah. And understand that sometimes the things that we are gifted with are not to be wasted.
Correct.
So in competing with an early version of yourself, choose the good version of yourself.
Please.
Not the bad version of yourself that you're going to choose to compete with. That's all I'm saying. I'm loving Mary because she's just got a whole bunch to say. I got to get you on the show. She says collaborate. So, and that also means collaborate with another version of yourself. Because again, choose the positive things, the good things that happen to you. Choose to find things to laugh about, not cry about.
Correct.
Because even some of the most dastardly things that have been done to you, perpetrated on you over the years, that if you can find, and I know you can, if you can say to yourself, I'm going to choose to not have this hold me back anymore, that I can laugh, find joy in the fact that I am choosing to not beat myself up, to not live in guilt and shame because of what someone did, someone said, because now the two things that you truly have control over is what you think, how you think, your thinking, and your actions. Those are the things that you truly have control
Absolutely.
over.
Your actions most important.
Absolutely. Let's see, Derek says, not making the same mistakes, but using lessons learned from those mistakes to educate and enlighten others. That's a great point, because people learn, they're watching us. We teach people how to treat us.
Correct.
And when you're negative and mean and disheartening, if you don't think you're teaching people how to treat you, yes, you are. We teach people how to treat us. And if we feel good, if we are happy and healthy, we have happy, healthy thinking about ourselves, then other people will see that healthiness in us.
That's true.
But if you're hanging around, like we said earlier, with other people that are just as negative as you, then that's the wrong place to be, the wrong attitude. So make some choices and some changes.
Correct. Well, I like what he said also, and remembering when you're teaching people about things that you've gone through, it's really also a testimony.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have testimonies until we have a what?
Test.
And we get tested all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So needless to say, that's great insight.
Well, and I like that. Let's talk about that just a little bit more. Every day is a test for us.
Absolutely.
Life is a test for
Correct.
us. People are a test for us. How we handle our health is a test for us. How we handle our finances is a test for us. How we make choices about how we choose to think about what other folks say or do, and then we choose to have that be a part of us. We choose to take that on.
Correct.
That's a test.
That's the test.
And it's okay to have tests. What's not okay is to keep failing the test. And part of passing is making a decision that what am I to learn from this?
Yeah, right.
And how can what is God having me think about, make changes so that I can feel better about it?
Well, we said even earlier in what we discussed earlier, a stepping stone is a stone which you step to go a place,
Right.
to move forward. So failing is not an option if you're learning from it, because you're moving forward. And testing is to determine what you do know, but you constantly retest it or continue to test yourself so that you can grow.
Right.
It's what I don't know is what I need to what? Retest on and re-figure out. So it's a growth process. We have to be growing.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because in the Bible it says repent. The word repent simply means turn around.
Turn around.
Because if you keep running into a wall, if you keep running into a spear, if you keep running into negative situations, turn around.
Turn around.
Just turn around, change your thinking, change your behavior.
Change your life.
Change your life.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's part of our 30-day challenge, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys will choose to join us. Now, we are...
Well, when you talk about the 30-day challenge, tell them what it is.
The 30-day challenge is simply, we are going to choose to change the way we look at wisdom. We're going to become more wisdom savvy. Because a lot of the things that we deal with every day, like these things that we can make some changes in right now, if you make just one or two, it can make a great difference in your life. How you see yourself, how you choose to manage your own emotions. This is what that 30-day challenge is about.
And when does it start?
It starts March 2nd, Saturday, 9 a.m. I'm going to be here at our location, 2646 South Loop 610, Suite 378. I'm going to be broadcasting live as well for those first persons that want some personal coaching and counseling. I I'm asking them to join our group, the Mastermind Wisdom group. To be a part of that group is $295. But with that $295, I am going to do some personal coaching and training of those persons that sign up. They will get a little bit extra than just some of the things that I'll be posting and talking about over that 30 days. But I'm going to have hands-on. I'm going to take you where you are, at your where value you in the place and position you're in, and help you become not just good, but better. Now, if you get to that level of greatness, that may take a little while, but you may be able to do it just during this 30 days. That's the hope. But certainly, I am absolutely positive, I'm sure of it, that there's something in your life that you need to change, and if I can't help you with it, I can find somebody that can.
That's great.
But that person that can do it is you. You just need to have some stepping stones, some guidelines, and maybe a life wheel so that you can use some prioritizing of at least 10 things in your life that needs to be worked on right now.
So we're going to Facebook Saturday morning?
I'm going to do Facebook Saturday morning live at 9:30, but
Okay.
I'm asking those folks that want to be a part of the mastermind group to meet, come here, or you can sign up here if you don't want to do it early. Sign up at the door, and I will explain how we are going to do and how we're going to use the Think and Grow Rich book so that we can think and grow wisdom. So that's what that 30-day challenge
And Mary
is about.
has something else to say?
Mary says, you keep getting the test. Oh, you keep getting the test until you pass.
Keep taking the test until you pass.
And sometimes, Mary, a failing grade means that that's not for me. Now, I can tell you that if I studied and took the test for calculus, I'm not going to pass that. That is not for me. So sometimes those tests, the passing, Mary, can sometimes be a realization that I am in the wrong field.
Right.
I am in the wrong place. I am with the wrong person. Go ahead.
One of my best friends, a young man by the name of Attorney Elton Locken, told me many years ago, as he studied for the bar. And when he took the test, he said, let me explain, Mr. Richardson, this. The bar testing, which is like a 3-day course program and thing, is not to determine if you have been qualified for an attorney or not. It's to disqualify you, to let you know that you're not an attorney or not.
I like that.
And when he told me that, he said, that's why you take the bar. He said, it's not to tell you whether you may be going through all the classes and then all you do a doctorate. He said, but it's to eliminate you, and very similar to our insurance program.
Right.
Is, you know, we started an insurance over 20 some odd years ago. We had a large market, but we had way more what we call insurance financial advisors in the industry. And over the last 20 years, we have a bigger market but less advisors. When we take those tests, it's not so that we can go out and go and advise. It's so that we can get the ones that shouldn't be out there advising out of the system. So sometimes test is just a little bit opposite, right?
I'm glad you said that, because that 30-day challenge is a test.
Excellent.
It is a test to help you choose and understand that you can pass these life tests.
You can. It's to help you succeed
Help
in
you
passing
succeed,
the test.
and because every day, we said this, every day is a test.
Correct.
Every day is a challenge.
Correct.
Every day is a lesson. And Mary says that is good in the wrong place, that getting that test in the wrong place. Because I'm glad you said that. I'm going to use an example. Sometimes there are persons that believe that the only option they have is maybe, and I'm not being critical of anybody that has to do this or doing this, it may be that you need to sell your body to live. There's some that, because they see other people doing it, they think that it's easy. And they may choose to test themselves, and that test, Mary, can be in the wrong place.
Correct.
For the wrong reason.
Correct.
If you're smart enough to do that, you're smart enough to do something else. That's my opinion.